Hello, I hope you're doing well today. My name is Ian Green, and I'm the musician for Music Dreams and also for Ian J. Green, two different artist profiles you can find wherever you stream your music. And today I'm going to be outlining part two of Unit 4 of the Level 10 harmony course that's provided through the Royal Conservatory of Music. And today we're going to share the screen and continue our discussion of the diminished seventh chord and the half diminished seventh chord, which can be used in various ways in Western music. Now, we spoke about the spelling of the half diminished seventh chord in a major key and also the diminished seventh chord in a minor key. But something that we can also speak on is how the common abbreviations of the different inversions are similar to the dominant seventh chord. So we can see here how the root position diminished seventh chord or half diminished seventh chord is with a small 7, like this. The first inversion is with 6-5, just like the first inversion of a dominant seventh chord. The second inversion is 4-3, just like the second inversion of a dominant seventh chord. And the same with the third inversion, 4-2, can be the same as the third inversion of a dominant seventh chord. So if we were to write these inversions using the abbreviations that we have here, we would have diminished 7, like this, diminished 6-5, diminished 4-3, and then also diminished 4-2. Now, if we want to write these using the half diminished spelling, let's just erase that for a moment, and we'll write those. I'll write these a little bit bigger so you can see. So diminished, half diminished 7, you want to make sure to put that slash there to signify the half diminished seventh, and then you would put the inversion as well. Half diminished 6-5, or we've got half diminished 4-3, and half diminished 4-2. Now, some musicians or teachers might say, hey, that's kind of picky. Why are we worrying about the half diminished seventh chord? And actually, it's very important because if we're in a major key and we want to use the seventh chord, it is technically not diminished because if we're using a diatonic seventh chord, we have that diminished triad plus also the minor seventh above. So that symbol is very important to make sure we signify the two differences between the seventh chords. So I think we can definitely say that it's easy to remember these inversions because they're the same as the dominant seventh chord. Of course, spelled with different notes. Now, something else we can look on is how to approach the diminished seventh chord. Now, traditionally, what we want to do is think about how the diminished seventh chord usually has a dissonance, either with the diminished triad or also with the diminished seventh, especially if we're in a minor key. So the best way to use the diminished seventh chord, if possible, if we have a choice of what type of voice leading to accomplish, is to try to use the diminished seventh chord in inversions, either diminished 6-5 or diminished 4-3, sometimes 4-2 as well, but traditionally first inversion is the best option if we can. And as well, to try to, if you can, to accomplish successful voice leading by moving by stepwise motion, especially to accommodate that resolution to whichever chord is coming next. Now, something that's very interesting, which I can outline using my piano here, is that when we create the diminished seventh chord, and then we want to, let's say, have the A flat of the 7 diminished seventh in the key of C minor. But let's say I want to go to 5 next. You want to make sure not to have an augmented second in any of the voices. So for example, if we have the highest note, the soprano singing A flat, and then the next note is a B natural, it's awkward to sing that specific interval. So traditionally, the best practice for voice leading is to try to avoid augmented intervals, especially augmented seconds, when you're writing notes in the same voice. So you want to make sure that if you're using the voice, the alto or tenor or bass or soprano, you want to make sure that one note to the next is not including an augmented second. Not that it doesn't sound correct or that you're not spelling the notes correctly. It's just that when we think about writing, especially a four-part harmony, some of the material is tricky to sing or to have the tuning successful. And so composers avoided certain intervals just because of that specific reason. And also because it just harmonically works better to use different types of intervals. So I hope that that is also helpful too. So essentially, by approaching the diminished or half diminished seventh chord by step and using good musical sense, then you can definitely incorporate this really cool chord into your writing. I hope this tutorial is helpful, and I look forward to seeing you next time for another tutorial. Thanks for your time, enjoy your day, and see you next time.